South Africa is a sovereign state. South Africa is not a capital of Africa. South Africans have their constitutional rights that they should exercise. South African companies should prioritize South Africans when employing. It's a yes to me on that. South African resources must cater for South Africans. That's an undeniable fact that we should comply. I don't subscribe to misconceptions that South Africans are uneducated and lazy. That's hogwash and hallucination. Anyone committing crime should be apprehended, arrested, trialed, and imprisoned. I agree to that. African presidents should be held accountable and responsible for their citizens flocking to South Africa for greener pastures. They mustn't be held only when there is xenophobia and Operation Tutula in South Africa. There was no meeting where South Africa was declared a breadbasket and greener pastures for all Africans. There was no agreement that Africans should send their citizens to South Africa because they rescued South Africa from apartheid. I totally understand South Africans' unemployment concerns, but I don't understand how they are venting their anger. I don't understand when black South Africans are victimizing and evicting black Africans. I'm missing a valid reason why blacks are fighting on their own, killing each other. Whom do they want to impress? Cry, my beloved Africa. I have a few questions to ask my beloved South African brothers and sisters. What's the agenda of Operation Tutula? What you don't want is all foreigners in South Africa, or you have your own targets? Are you against all non-South Africans, or you hate black Africans? Please, may you kindly answer my question politely and calmly. How many South African own malls and banks in South Africa? Are the mall and bank owners who are not South Africans going to be tutulat as well? Is MT and Vodacom 100% owned by South Africans? If not so, are the shareholders who are non-South Africans going to be tutulat as well? Does it mean all countries where there are South Africans must also start Operation Tutula? Does it mean every African country seeing a South African truck should start Operation Tutula? Please, may you kindly answer my questions politely because I'm not fighting anyone. Cry, my beloved Africa. If you don't want non-South Africans in your country, please go to Lutuli House and remove Chief Albert Lutuli's pictures and profile because he was a Zimbabwean. If you really don't want non-South Africans in your country, please evict all footballers who are playing in South Africa. If you don't want non-South Africans in your country, please demolish every property owned by Guptas because they are not South Africans. If you honestly don't want non-South Africans in South Africa, Honorable Jackson Mthembu was not going to be replaced by that Chinese girl. Cry, my beloved Africa, until the spirit of Ubuntu prevails. Few more questions to my fellow South African brothers and sisters on Tutula mission. Have you reclaimed your land? Have you nationalized the mines? Are you going to Tutula the Chinese, Americans, Europeans that own land and mine your mines in South Africa? Cry, my beloved Africa, until the spirit of Ubuntu prevails. Dear my beloved South African brothers and sisters, I have few statements that need clarification because I don't want to mislead people. How can a Malawian accountant take a job of a South African taxi driver? How can a Zambian engineer employed in South Africa take a job of a saloon owner who is a South African? How do Zimbabweans selling on street take South Africans these jobs? How do Nigerian pastors who are in South Africa take South Africans these jobs? How do Nigerians fixing computers and cell phones take your jobs? How do Mozambicans selling vegetables door to door in Tembisa take your jobs? How do Zimbabwean teachers employed in South Africa take jobs of security guards who are South Africans? How can a Kenyan carpenter in South Africa take South African jobs for traditional healers? How do Somalians running spaza shop take your jobs? I still want to know how non-South Africans earning a living from Superbet take your jobs. Cry, my beloved Africa, until the spirit of Ubuntu prevails. Do you know that the very people you are tutularing are using public transport owned by South African nationals? Do you know that these same people you are tutularing buy in shops where their tax and their money pays your grants? Do you know Mandela gave citizenship to everyone who was in South Africa when he won? Do you know Thabo Mbeki gave citizenship to non-South African when he was in power? Do you know Jacob Zuma gave non-South African special permits? Permits won't be renewed, but they were given this year as a grace period. Can't you patiently wait and see if they won't go back to their homes? Do you know it's not all Africans who come to South Africa to commit crime? Are you aware that some Africans come to South Africa to seek refugee? Do you know that no one chooses to be born in a country where there are political turmoil, civil wars and genocides? Do you know how much are South African musicians loved and supported across Africa? Should they be tutulated there and banned from being hired in any country outside South Africa just because they are South Africans? What will happen to children and spouses of South Africans who are not South African? Cry, my beloved Africa, until the spirit of Ubuntu prevails. South African politicians who have failed to deliver electoral promises have told black South Africans to kill black Africans. Operation Tutula emanates from Western mental marriage. Operation Tutula is black slavery. Operation Tutula is a black agenda for butchering blacks. Operation Tutula is a black massacre by blacks. Operation Tutula is an African black genocide by Africans. Operation Tutula is a black war. Operation Tutula is an African war. Cry, my beloved Africa, until the spirit of Ubuntu prevails. Nhlanhla lax mfowethu. Unenhlanhla mfowethu ngoba ngwaseMzantsi Africa. Unenhlanhla mfowethu ngoba ngwase South Africa. Aliba ngwase Somalia, aliba ukhuluma ngezinye indlela mntaka baba. Ngiyabacelela ushayela abantu abansundu abangama Africa njengawe mntaka baba. We have learned a lot from xenophobia, now Operation Tutula. Ukufunda kuphele. All the best with your country. I hope tables won't turn anytime soon, because what comes around normally goes around. Operation Tutula doesn't need United Nations, African Union, SADC, BRICS, NATO or Putin. It only needs common sense. Cry, my beloved Africa, until the spirit of Ubuntu prevails. I am Opet Dube, the African poet.